Okay, we're looking at page 17, example number 10, and we're going to do this one together, and I'm going to leave that last one for you to work on as a practice example, okay? That way you can put everything into play and see if you feel good about the work that we did. Number 10 says, according to a national survey, again, a national survey, 62% of adults have sought care for neck or back pain. If we randomly survey 250 adults, here's that language, what is the probability more than 70% of them have sought care for neck or back pain? Okay, so again, that what is the probability is where they're telling us to use the normal CDF. So all of that cannot be answered until we know what the mean and the standard deviation are. So let's read above. The national survey said 62% of adults have sought care for neck or back pain. That means that this is our p-value, 0.62. Then it says we randomly survey, so that's that key language, 250 adults, so that's n equals 250. Now we have everything we need. In part A, it says, first, find the mean and the standard deviation for the sampling distribution for the proportion. So as a reminder, the sampling distribution for the proportion is the normal model where P is the mean, P times 1 minus P all over N is the formula to compute our standard deviation. So let's find those two values so we can put them all together for the normal model. So our mean is the p-value. So that's 0.62. That's P. Our standard deviation is going to be P times 1 minus P all over N. So what we want to do is make sure we set that up and check that work in the calculator. I didn't mean to scroll. I'm sorry, y'all. And check that work in the calculator. Make sure we feel good about that. So that's 0.62, 1 minus 0.62, all divided by, in this case, 250. So if you need to, pause the video and type that in to make sure we get the correct answer. But I rounded that to 4 decimal places and got 0.0307. So altogether, this is a normal model where the mean is 0.62 and the standard deviation is 0.0307. So this is our new mean and standard deviation that we can use to be able to solve part B. Let's read part B. Using your sampling distribution from part A, what is the probability more than 70% of them have sought care for neck or back pain? So again, what is the probability is what's telling us to do normal CDF. And this language right here, more than 70% of them, is telling us that we want to go above 70. So that means our lower is equal to 70%, or as a decimal, 0.70. Our mean and our standard deviation are both decimals, so our lower bound needs to be represented as a decimal as well, just like example number 9. All right, let's set it all up. That's normal CDF more than, so 0.70 is our lower bound. A large positive number is our upper bound since they didn't give us one. Our mean was 0.62 and our standard deviation was 0.0307. So let's go enter that into the calculator. If you need to, pause the video to make sure I'm not rushing you. But then our answer here is 0.0046. It's really, really small. Okay. So that is the double zeros would actually mean that the answer for part B would be considered unusual, because remember that the cutoff for being unusual is that the probability is less than 5%. Okay, so that's the end of the 2 example videos. Hopefully together, this makes you feel a little bit better about section 7.4 while I'm not in class for jury duty.